Achievers, your back is padded. I'm waiting to receive the same from all these rapper addicts. I've heard before that I was wars missing. You gave my thoughts listens, you automatically my support system. ID 37 go back like vertebrates and set a high bar, making it hard to perpetrate. Question the strategy, the answer always similar. Ain't no
Alright, yo, what is good, what is happening? Welcome to Unplugged Season 3, Episode 5. It is I, and I am him, Dave the MC, and today I have the opportunity to sit down with a crew, a company, people who are trying to establish themselves, and they hope to be the next phase of the industry where, you know, there's the phases of the industry where we had artists signed to labels, now we have independent artists, and then there'll be another phase coming after that where you have your own companies and you're helping other artists come through into the game. So today I have 2/3 of Tribe 53, both as a group and as the company. One person is not here today, but that's a story for another day. And I'll let them introduce themselves. Starting with the gentleman on the left.
Assuming this is left.
It could be left.
It could be. So, actual name Brad, but in the group I go as Babos. As a producer, I go as Babos. Audio engineer, producer, and just hunting for dope talent. So we see what we can do with these guys out here. Yeah.
Yes. Stage name Mwatika, government name Mwatika.
I'm going to ban it, but it's fine.
But they singepeana government name. But anyway, yeah, so rapper, rapper, producer, sound engineer, graphic designer, founding partner. Hiyo kitu ulisahau kusema.
Yo, singekuwa ndaka useme.
Sawa basi, founding partner of Tribe 53 the company. Yeah. So mwenye yuko hapa ni K9, who is the rapper and he handles a lot of the finances of the company and the crew.
All right. Talk to me about the beginnings of Tribe 53. Was this something maybe you had thought about years ago, and then you were like, okay, I'm at a place where I can materialize it, or it's just something you thought of and you're like, okay, I have my friends, and we can build something. So how did Tribe 53 come about?
Okay, so the name Tribe 53, it came from high school. So I was in Aquinas High School in Cube 53. So on Fridays we used to have ciphers in our cube, and artists from different classes would come, and then we just rock it out. We started when we started out we were around 4 5 there, and then by Form 4 we were 3, then after Form 4 we were 2, so me and K9. And then just as artists, and then a few years down the line, through a mutual friend, I met Babos. And then he was like, hey, see you guys, you come we chill, alafu we see what can happen. So I came, we talked, played poker, alafu
vibes
tu akaniambia hebu ingia kwa mic. Then I went to the mic, spit a few, and then I was like, hey, so you come next week. So from then on we've been building the friendship, and now recently we want to formalize it into a company now.
Okay. The reason why I start with that question normally is I like hearing rappers' origin stories. It's like a comic book, like, you know, in the beginning there was this.
Yeah.
So I like listening to those stories because it tells me, like, yeah, every rapper has to have an origin story. If you don't have an origin story, you're not actually a rapper. When you always say, this music shit looks easy. Yeah, but how did you start? You can just walk up to a mic and then do something.
True.
You have to have that talent, talent aspect of it. So I like listening to those to this rap origin stories. But you as a sound engineer, how did that start for you?
Wow, okay. I think a lot of these stories kind of start from high school, because that's around the age you start experimenting and realizing yourself, rebelling in a way. So I call myself an artist generally. I find that whatever art form I would want to get into, I'll be good at it. It doesn't matter if it's music, drawing, pottery, all these things. So that's how it started for me. Now in high school, we used to do like freestyle music sessions in the music room and all that. But now, me, I was just an observer. I was like, hey, wow, kumbe you can do this. These people do this. So you start just following these people, hanging around them during festivals, drama festivals, all those things. When these guys are rehearsing, you're just there in the window. You know, the Form 1, Form 2, you can't be in there. So you're just lurking in the window, trying to see. And then I figured, I don't know, I could try this. So in the art room, you know, again, artists are free. So even in school, artists are free. In the art room, we had all sorts of equipment, laptops, desktops. So I just sat in the desktop and I was like, let me just try this music thing, start making beats. Of course, they're not even beats, they're just sounds that beat together. You know, but that's how it starts. So kidogo, the guys in the room hear what you're doing, they're like, yo, siongeze volume hapo kiasi. So you realize, mtu akiongeze volume, it's probably good. So you start getting some psych from there, nini. I want to learn music as a theory as well. So you do the theory, and well, although music, most of it lies in the practical part of it, but you still need to know the theory of it. So I did the theory, then after that now, I kind of left it there for a while, did other things, went to campus and all that. Then after campus, I was like, yo, nah, let me go back to this. First of all, I'm not liking the music I'm hearing. Let me make my own. You know, see could throw shade, but hey, go like
It's allowed.
It's allowed.
Content is important.
Hey, yes, indeed. So I was kind of like, I don't know. Instead of looking for music that will bamba me, let me make my own. You know, just started. Kanza kuduivo, making music, just chilling, you know, vibing, nini, listening to good music and trying to make that. Then over the years now you start interacting with people who are kind of doing the same thing you're doing. You start vibing, you realize you're good at this is good. So you figure you can do this as a career. And boom, a few years down the line, you start meeting with legends like this. Yes, India. So una realize, kumbe, I can make this into a bigger thing. So the bigger picture now becomes the company. You realize, si lazima ukwe tu producer, you can now be an engineer, like actually do this as a science, you know, not just as an art. So you start hanging out with people who have the same mindset, and you realize that the company then can be a big thing compared to hanging out with guys who are just there for the fun of it. At some point, by the way, in that high school aspect, I was a DJ. You know. But now you're a DJ, but your friends are not giving you gigs. Msako na bash kwao, like hata wasi wanne ndo kwa hiyo bash. Like bro, ungeniita niko na hii app ya DJ.
Ilikuwa acid out.
Ilikuwa inaitwangaje, DJ Pro for mobile.
Ilikuwa nayo, bado nilikuwa nayo.
Sindi, hiyo hapo ilikuwa noma by the way. Hata sijui after hii shoot tunaweza download
to try tuone venye.
But anyway, that's how it was.
I think there was that one and virtual DJ. I think
virtual DJ now for the laptop.
I think I still have a setup.
I had virtual DJ.
Hey, virtual DJ. Hey, bro. So that's how it was, maze. DJ kidogo. Then you realize, unajua a producer and a DJ, almost the same thing but two different worlds.
Yeah.
DJs are out there with all the noise and all the people and all the enjoyment and all that. But producers, like, we kind of tend to like to work alone most of the time, you know. So I can't do my personally I can't do my engineering with the rapper in the room, you know. I'll do the basics that like they need to hear what they've done, and then you guy we hear enda ukam, you know.
Saa ingine hiyo chiming in inaweza slow down the process.
Yes, ndio. It's like you're going for surgery and then you're like, yo doc, hapana. Tumia scalpel, wachana na we nurse, ebu, you know, as in
sitaki kulala. Hii nafaa kufanya hivyo.
That's why doctors put you to sleep before your surgery. You know. So me I don't want to put you to sleep here. Wenda home, ukam. So I figured now I'm not into the DJing so much.
Yeah.
So let me do this production. When you start doing production, you can now do the engineering. So
okay.
Yeah.
What about you, man? Like, when did you? Because it always gets to a point where it's either you started off and you're like, this is what I want to do. Like, this is something I will do and I will never stop doing it. When did that point reach for you? Did it start in high school or did that come a bit later?
For me, it started in high school. I'm very obsessive. So when I first, this was
2000.
What? Okay, the first time I rapped in front of people was in 2012. 2012. I think so. Yeah. So 2012, and it was a story funny. So we had this thing. Ilikuwa sijui variety night or what. So a talent show kind of thing.
Yeah.
So no teachers in the dining hall. It's just you. There's a PA system. You go do your thing.
Yeah.
Sasa me and my desk mate were like, hey, you guys, bana, see, we go rap. So it was sort of like a prank. So I went there.
You just did it.
Yeah. So I went there with the paper. So my friend, alikuwa ameandika kadhaa, alafu alikuwa amemaster ameshika. We had no beats, so tumeenda hapo. It was some youngins.
So it was a cappella.
It was a cappella. Terrible. So he did his beat, alafu people were like, hey! I mean, mefika time yangu. So it's the first time public speaking. First time I'm rapping in front of more than one person. So nimeshika hivi karatasi. This is how my hand was. So it was shaking so much I couldn't actually read. So niko tu hivi. Yo. The whole week. Ulienda kutusomea poem hapo mbele. The whole week ilikuwa hivyo. So I was transferred from that school.
If you ask any rapper, there's that moment. It's that moment. You like after that is when now your confidence picks up.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah, you have to be crushed. Yeah, I believe it's important for people to go through depression. Lazima ukule moja
for your character development.
So when I was transferred to Aquinas, for some reason, because I love hip hop and I had all the facts, for some reason people thought I'm a rapper. So nimefika hapo, kama ni rapper chiki kwanza. Huyu jamaa ndio anakuanga rapa wa Daro. Mimi niko zile za sawa. Alafu they organized the battle and I was the MC. I was not even being challenged because I was so good.
Yeah.
Nobody has heard me.
Yeah.
But wamesema jamaa rapper, yani mimi nilikuwa mkali mpaka
umechochwa
yani hata siko kwa conversation. So kuna huyu kama mwingine alikam wakasema sasa ni huyu battle huyu. Unacheki. So mimi nishaikuwa goat hata bila kuwa approved. After kuka for a while kon battle ni Friday. Wacha nisi disappoint. So nika remix ngoma fulani nilikuwa najua. Alafu ikaingiana. So I performed that as the curtain raiser for the battle. Alafu sasa the battle happened. Alafu people were like yo alitu ndio alikilio kitu. So from then on nikaona okay, maybe I have a skill, because the desk mate, the one who I went with the paper, he told me that he doesn't like listening to my rhymes. He doesn't like reading them because they are not good, but hearing them he likes the flow. So I was like, okay, maybe kuna different elements kwa hip hop, so I can focus on flow. So that was the only thing I focused on, flow. Alafu I just became obsessive with it. Alafu K9, he moved to become my deskmate, and we were deskmates from tu mpaka mwisho. Sasa kutoka hapo sasa ilikuwa tu kupotezana tu. We had this thing ya 20 minutes before preps, everybody has to write a verse and then we rap it to each other. So we did that every day. Mpaka ikafika point yani I was untouchable kwa hiyo chuo. So ukimada high school kuna hiyo mentality ya I'm untouchable. Nikaenda huku nje, nikaenda hizi cypher za nini za power. First of all, I have a small voice. Fresh out of high school, I'm meeting guys there at the 25, 24, me I'm 18, 19. People who have been there, they have trophies. I love me, I'm going there. So when I went there, of course, so kijana uko poa, but nobody really noticed me. And that pissed me off. Because I came from this community where I was more than human. So it pushed me even further. And then I got into a situation with the label, tried to change my sound, and then I left. Actually, they dropped me. They just stopped calling me for sessions. Nilikuwa na call, ni come Thursday. Hapana, come next week. Come next week.
That's how it.
Come next week. Alafu after a while, si call. Alafu like 6 months later, niaje, si come studio kuna hii beats nini. I was supposed to be signed and then I do a mixtape and an album. So I went. Alafu after recording that, then the guy gave me the demo. Alafu asuta come next week tumalizane na mixtape. Kwanza hata nataka kushoot video, kuna nini sana kwa kitu me pick up tena. At the same time bado niko kole kwa nafanya graphic design. So kiendelea tu hivyo, after a while no calls, no nothing.
So would you say that's your let's call it, well, we can just call it character development, but that kind of motivated you to be like, okay, I don't need a label to do this.
Yeah. It was one of the instances, because I quit music 2 times. And then I was like, okay, maybe I should. So that was the first time. The second time, I got noticed by a big artist, and then they had this mentorship program. So they paid for a very expensive producer. So I went there, alafu the guys like, unajua ni Kenya, sijui ni nini, you can't do things like this. Like, sabas. Yeah.
What you can do.
So after that session, nilienda tu nikasema, mbona nafanya hiki kitu hata. So after that I quit for like a weekend hivi. Alafu there's this chick, a close friend of mine, because lazima Mwatika sijui na kwa mkali usiquit, just trying to give me some motivation. So I started again. So I started recording using the laptop's microphone. So tunajua hiyo yenye iko inbuilt. So nikafanya some demos hapo. I did 2 mixtapes there. Alafu just sending it to friends. it landed in the hands of someone who has a studio, and then he was like, hey, I see your drive, your dedication. Then he did for us Sasa the first song, Sasa as Tribe Sasa.
Yeah.
Because K9, he was alienda coast for 2 years.
Yeah.
So hiyo time pia ilikuwa a very tough time because I was dealing with it alone. So nile namcall naambia hey. So hata yeye alikuwa ananifanyia hivyo, alikuwa ananitumia his songs in amerecord tu na simu sasa. So beat nacheza. So after huyo, and then I got into I was inspired to get my own, so I just talked to my mom nikamwambia mimi nataka kufanya hiki kitu. I have a very supportive mother. Jukasi hiyo singeenda kufanya graphic design, because graphic design was a way for me to run out of uni. I didn't want to go to uni.
Okay.
So she bought me that mic. The time ilikuwa 8K. Sijaifurahi hivyo. From then tulirecord vitu mpaka zikafikia ujamaa. Ujamaa kasa asu come studio tuongee. So from there pia nikaanza kulearn production, because people I'm approaching they don't want to accept me the way I am, so learn how to make things myself. Then my production is trash because of my engineering, so I have to learn how to master and mix and everything. So yeah.
What made you, like, for him, what was that moment where you're like, okay, I can do sound engineering? Maybe, like, did you have a label situation, or you've just been solo, like, independent all this time?
Okay, so I worked with there's a guy who had a studio those sides for ST. So this is very the same guy who linked us up, Hex. Shout out to Hex.
Yeah.
Hex is the same guy who originally hollered at me, yo, there's this guy, he's opening a studio, the rappers, but he doesn't have a producer. So si ukuja we produce for this guy. So me and Hex tukaishia, tukaanza kufanya hizo mavitu. But now the guy is funding that place, like yes wako na do, but they don't have the musical capability to understand the things you need. Yes, to understand the things you need in order to make your music sound, you know, good and all that. So like wao wanajua sini studio, fanya soundproofing, weka mic, weka booth, achana na stories zingine. Si ndio. Like when a guy comes to the studio to do some music, wako like, yo, sutantumia ngoma by jioni. Niko like, aje, as it's like making a movie in a day. It don't work like that. So, and at the same time, pia unajua we're still fresh to this thing, so in the process we're learning and all that. So that's how I started to tukaanzia hiyo place. But somehow the music that you unajua, production has a very funny way of making you realize that it's not what it sounds like, you know. So when you're working on a track, I swear, you listen to this thing, you're working on it like 24 hours continuously. Unatoka hapo unajua bas, finished product, gem. Unangoja the next day for uploading and all that. Kesho ukirudi studio, bro, you'll start from the original file, assuming the previous work you've done was not even there. Because what you've been doing, I think sometimes your brain gets saturated, so it makes everything sounds good. Inachoka kufikiria. So unajua it sounds good nini, but ukipatia umse nikako depressed. nika sasa, you know, anaanza kujulia ama ni mimi. But akienda kwingine ina sound better, so una realize what do I need to do different. Juu nikivibe na hii beat iko sawa, when I send this guy the beat iko sawa, but akikam kurecord nifanye mixing, mastering and all that, it's like ana prefer tu acha ibaki beat basi.
Release to
Acha ni release ka beat. Alafu ndako naingia wase live. So at that point like I'm good at the beat making side. Unajua most of the beat making side is creative. But now this other part you have to learn. There's no shortcuts. You have to learn the science.
There's a science, there's a knowledge.
Yes. So many people have the artistry. But this other side, no one is willing to learn. No one is. So many new age producers, no one is willing to learn. You see, and I'm not. I don't know if I'm wrong when they say.
Well, if you're willing to learn, you're not willing to learn enough.
Yes, they think they know enough. So, si mimi sinajua kumix, hiyo imetosha. Nitaongeza volume side. Ikwe.
Kuna time Kenan ali perform. Sasa venye sasa tulikuwa nayo nini yetu huko Sioki.
Either unaingia ama unakaa nje.
No, mimi nawasikiza tu.
Sasa vile tulikuwa nayo hiyo setup hiyo Sioki. So si anafanya nini take. Amerecord jogo ikawika hapo.
Yes.
BTS. Okay.
So amerap, sasa amevaa headphones alafu yeye upenda kuisikia loud. So amerap yani he's all. Alafu hapo nje kuna jogo fulani iliwika katikati ya take. So niko zile za mimi sipendangi kusplit. Natakanga tu take moja hivi clean. Hata kama utaifanya 50 times mimi sijali. Nikamwambia unaona vile umefanya? Rudia tu. Karibu nipige ngumi bana.
Okay, cut on the BTS.
Yeah.
So there's Tribe 53 as the label. How did the company? What made you guys think of the company as well, or did it just come as a result of having the label?
The company was.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe I'm not framing the question nicely. It started as a label. It still is a label, but there's the company aspect of it.
Okay, it started as a crew, and then instead of becoming a label, we just thought a company would be a better business model.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a company has a wider outreach.
Yeah. So we don't want to limit ourselves to music.
Okay. So Tribe 53, the company.
Yes.
What is your vision for that? Because it starts as a crew, but then where do you want Tribe 53 to be? Let's say in the next 5 years.
In the next 5 years. Okay, I don't want to.
Let's say even the next 2 years.
Your twin is a pita tu hivyo. But okay, sitaki ku reveal too much.
Without revealing too much.
Without revealing too much, but our business model is it's not very conventional when it comes to what other people are doing inside our industry. So in the next we have a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
And we have a bigger plan here tujaipatia time. Ile we just want to do this. Yeah. So hizo vitu zenye tunataka kufanya ni basically we just want to change how people see art as artists and as musicians. So we want to empower.
Like you don't want to be the typical.
Yeah, we don't want to be the typical. So we want to empower artists who have a different view on life, so that they can be able to create products that will influence people in a certain way. And then beyond that, we want to show artists that okay, you are an artist, but you are not bound to this business model which we are taught. I know if you are a visual artist, you get into a gallery. Story imeishia hapo. If you are a rapper, royalties nini story imeishia hapo. So we want to to show artists that there is more to financial responsibility and financial literacy than you learning you learning only what is within your business. Yes. So in some of the lessons that we're trying to learn ourselves and apply in our business, which in turn will, as in, success is contagious. The reason mbona tuko na bundles cheap hivi ni kwa sababu Safu walikuja na quality, alafu these other guys they say okay, these guys have quality, let's make it cheap. So Credo, cheapest credit, kuna time niliona, unakumbuka ile nini ya round ile ya chuma ya Safaricom? Hiyo team.
Yes.
Nilionanga juzi.
I'm sorry, we're old enough to know that.
Nilionanga juzi. Karibu ni chizi. But so ukifungua sasa the booklet, unaona the prices ya credit. Cheapest ni 1,000. So these other small companies zilifanya mpaka ikafika point unaweza buy Credo na 1 bob. Unacheki? So that's what we're trying to do. Ile as creatives, ile uone okay, hasa ameweza kufanya hii na hii, wacha mimi nitafanya hii, but sami badala ya kufanya company na deal na real estate, company yangu deal na education, set up your own institution. Msafanya real estate na msafanya education, wacha mimi nifanye yangu textiles. Unacheki?
Alright. So let's say this is 10 years, 15 years from now. Do you guys still see yourselves being active on the scene, or do you see yourselves being, of course you'd be like super OGs by that time. So do you see yourselves still being very active, or now playing a behind the scenes role and mentoring the artists you'll have had by that time?
I think, no, I know it's gonna be both. Because you see, there's Tribe 53, the company, and there's Tribe 53, the crew. The crew hasn't stopped being the crew. It's like now the crew is also part of the company as individuals. You know, so it's just that the names are kind of similar, but the company is like Tribe 53 Inc. But the group is Tribe 53. So we won't stop being the crew, and the company will grow so much so as and independently, so much so as it'll be handling itself. You know, it'll be independent. And the rappers, the crew, the music, the production, everything will still go on. So if the company decides to venture into, let's say, the vehicle industry, I mean, naacha kwa producer sasa niende, you know, I'll still be me. And I can also be me in the company. So in the crew, we are as Babos, as Mwatika and K9. But in the company now, I'm there as Brad. He's there as Mwatika, maybe the different. I'm sure like a post of
one like a space katika.
Underscore. Mwatika underscore 99, you know. So in the company, we are there as individuals. So it's kind of corporate and all that. But the crew still remains as the crew, the artists. The artistry continues. That's
dope. Alright, lastly, there's something you guys are working on. We will not say what it is. You'll have to wait and see what it is. Is there anything you can talk about, just a little bit about that project?
Sasa, the person who can talk about it
is the one guy who's not here.
So that's the problem.
That's the problem. That'll be now maybe another episode.
That'll be another.
But we are handling all the production and all the. So the only thing you can say ni kali.
Something is coming.
Something is coming.
They're not gonna say what it is. I know what it is. We're not saying anything.
But for a fact, it's something you've not had.
And it's for the culture.
Definitely. You've not had this, as in, unajua one of the things zilifanya ni click na umse it's the whole this is him, this is Ali as himself, and this is me as myself creating art the way I want and the way he wants, and now we're doing this together. So it's not like amekuja na rules flani like yo mimi nafanya drill, so weka watu hizi fanya drill na wewe mimi nimeishia, you know. If an artist comes here tuambie yo najisikia kufanya reggae, if I've never made a reggae beat, I've never made a reggae song, this guy's never made a reggae song, but
niko na moja
we will
hiyo siwezi kushow terrible amesema hivyo nikasikia kujikata shingo, lakini endelee
hiyo unanitumia wala ngoja tutoke hapa nje. So anyway, at least najua I can be willing to, unakumbuka at the beginning of this show nilikwambia as an artist mimi najua, like I've never played a saxophone, but I know if you leave me the saxophone here, give me a month, I'll be the best probably. Nimejisikia niko like but you know, as in I'll be the best given the situation. So whatever art you're making, you need to make it creatively by yourself, so that if you're collaborating with someone else, it's two individual creative ideas zimekuja pamoja, not like me imposing my style on him and him imposing his style on. So mimi najua msaka kama sema anataka tumfanyia reggae song, I'll be willing to do it because I know I can and he knows he can. So these are two people who know they can, you know. So that's kind of a few the things that make you do these things, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
On that note, thank you guys for agreeing to this. I know this was very last minute. And I appreciate you guys also, you know, having the guest you had. He's somewhere. We're not going to say who it is also. So that you wait. So yeah, thank you guys for hosting us and letting us see what it is that project is. Where can they find you on socials?
Social media as me. You'll get me nitangaje page yangu. Unajua I'm rarely on IG, but @@_by_Mwatika, and then for a group Tribe 53, for the company Tribe 53 kama okay, your page iko also under construction, tulitoa kila kitu, so we're trying to find ways which we can start populating that.
The channel is there.
The YouTube channel, the YouTube channel is there. Yeah, it's there. Tribe 53 Music.
I'm guessing we'll send the links and then you drop them there.
Yeah, links will be down below. Of course. I can't forget to do that. But yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you also subscribe to Tribe 53.
Aja introduce handles.
My handle.
Who hata ya kwangia IG?
Are you a social media person?
Aye, bro. How can I not?
IG.
So posting myself kila 5 seconds.
Yeah, man. Yo. So anyway, no, on a serious note, IG @itsBabos. Actually everywhere. IG,
Facebook.
YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, SoundCloud, Deezer, Tribe 53 Inc.'s website. Yeah, it's Babos.
Dundo.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.